is Jeopardy! Please welcome our contestants. Player 1. Player 2. Player 3. And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex Trevette.
Thank you, Johnny Gilbert. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Let's take you right now into the Jeopardy round. Clues are worth $200 to $1,000 in these categories: olive oil, sweet pea, biblical abominations, be fruitful and multiply, sports legends, and historic amours. Player 1, where do we start? Carnations and sweet williams belong to this colorful family of flowering plants. Player 1? Good. We return to you, Player 1. Gene Fowler's biography of John Barrymore is called Good Night, Sweet This. Here's what we wanted. Prince. Select again. Perhaps an alteration of the word potato, this word follows sweet in a slang term for a pretty girl. Player 1? Yes. Select again. Answer. It's the Daily Double. You are currently in the lead. You need to select your wager. Answer. This Hall of Fame NFL running back was nicknamed Sweetness. That puts you even further ahead. Select again. If you're served sweetbreads in a restaurant, you're eating either thymus or this part of an animal. Here's what we were looking for. The pancreas. Player 1. Pick again. Multiply 5 times 5 times 5 to get this. It's Player 1. Yeah! Hey, you're right. Please pick again, Player 1. It's 3 times 4 times 5 times 6. Player 2. That's correct. Where do we begin, Player 2? This dictator's rumored romp with Pompey's wife was even riskier than his fling with Cleopatra. Player 1? That's not it. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? The correct response is Julius Caesar. We return to you, Player 2. When this great guy became king of Judea, he banished his first wife, Doris, and married a princess named Mariamne. Let's hear it, Player 2. Any other takers? Player 1? You got it. Player 1, you're in command of the board as we continue, right? It's -10 times 6 times -9. Okay, player 2. Correct. Okay, let's get back into this. Player 2, you make the next selection as we can. Most U.S.-produced olive oil comes from this state, so watch out, you dancing raisins. Player 1? Yep. Player 1, make a selection, please, as we continue. 17 times 2 times 6 equals this. The correct response is 204. Player 1, back to you. 33 times 33 equals this. Yes, player 3? No. Any other takers? We're talking about 1,089. Please pick again, player 1. It's pure and delicious. The oil that's the cold-pressed result of the first pressing of olives is extra this. Yes, player 1? Yeah! Right. Player 1, you pick again, please. Here's a pH test. All olive oils are graded in accordance with the degree of this they contain. Lower is better. Player 2. Yes. A lot of clues, a lot of categories. Player 2. Make us this Greek dish of lamb marinated in olive oil and spices, grilled and skewered, gets its name from the Greek for skewer. Yes, player 2. Right. Please pick again, player 2. This LA Area Institute's famed olive walk is harvested for olive oil named for the school. It's player 3. Yep, you're out of the hole. Player 3, start us. Leviticus chapter 11 says, most insects that creep or fly are an abomination, but this 8th plague is kosher. Let's hear it, player 1. Yeah! That's it. Okay, let's get back into this. Player 1, you make the next selection as we... Leviticus chapter 11, verse 13 declares that this bird of prey, later a symbol of Roman legions, is an abomination. Yes, player 1? No. Oh! Sorry. Any other takers? Player 2. A lot of clues, a lot of categories. Player 2. Make us a... Potpourri is not mentioned, but this burning perfume is an abomination according to Isaiah, chapter 1, verse 13. Yes, player 1? Yeah! Where do we begin, player 1? Leviticus chapter 11, verse 10 says, all that have not fins and these in the seas shall be an abomination. The correct response is scales. You again, player one. In Genesis, chapter 46, verse 34, every shepherd is an abomination unto this kingdom that was known as Kemet. It's player two. Yes. Where do we begin, player two? For 13 years, Madame de Montespan was the sunshine of this Sun King's life. Here's what we wanted. Louis XIV. Please pick again, player two. The Earl of Bothwell led the plot to murder this queen's second husband 3 months before becoming hubby number 3. The correct response is Mary, Queen of Scots. We return to you, player two. The Duchess of Portsmouth was the least popular mistress of this merry monarch, and that was quite a contest. Here's what we wanted. Charles II. Player two, choose again. Barry Bonds broke this man's home run record of 755. Okay, player one. No. Any other takers? Okay, player two. That's correct. You again, player two. This 7-time Tour de France champ said the New York City Marathon was the hardest physical thing he'd ever done. Let's hear it, player three. Nope. Sorry. Anyone else? Let's hear it, player two. No. Sorry. Any other takers? Okay, player one. Yes. A lot of clues, a lot of categories. From 1984 to 1992, Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, and this man won all the NBA's regular season MVP awards. The correct response is Magic Johnson. Player one, choose again. In 1904, he became the first pitcher in the American League to throw a perfect game. An award is named for him. Okay, player three. Right you are. Good. Back on the plus side. Let's have a look at the $1,000 clue. Let's go over to Kelly.
The Green Bay Packers maintain a replica of the office of this legendary coach known for his commitment to winning.
Let's hear it, player two. Correct. Player three is in third place, which means, of course, player three will select first in Double Jeopardy. We start the Double Jeopardy categories with this one. Word origins. Music class. What a gem. The sporting life. All about presidents. And countries by newspaper. Player three, make a selection, please, as we continue. JFK took his oath of office on a Bible that these people, his mother's family, had brought with them from Ireland. Here's what we wanted. The Fitzgeralds. The Keebler elves could probably tell you that the name of this snack comes from a Dutch word for small cake. Player one? Correct. A lot of clues, a lot of categories, player one. Maple or otherwise, this thick, sweet stuff is from the Arabic for to drink. Okay, player one. Right. Player one, choose again. First used in a novel about 90 years ago, it refers to a bright person, not someone who resembles Humpty Dumpty. Let's hear it, player one. That's correct. Select again. The name of this type of aircraft is from two Greek words meaning spiral wing. Let's hear it, player three. Anyone else? We're talking about a helicopter. You get to pick again, player one. The term funny bone is actually a pun on the name of this upper arm bone. Okay, player one. Yeah! Hey, you're right. Please pick again, player one. You can weigh up to 147 pounds in this boxing class between lightweight and middleweight. It's player one. That's it. Player one, back to you. In 1967, Memorial Coliseum in this West Coast city hosted the first Super Bowl. Green Bay beat Kansas City 35-10. Here's the correct response. Los Angeles. Player one, choose again. In 2006, Massachusetts made this sport, invented there, the official sport of the Commonwealth. Yes, player one? Hey, you're right. Player one, pick again. And I'll hand it off to Kelly.
Popular in the British Isles and the Commonwealth, it's the sport being played here.
It's player three. Hey, you're on the plus side. Where do we begin, player three? Answer? One of the daily doubles. Player three, you're in last place. You need to select your wager. And the daily double clue. This ABC show debuted April 29th, 1961, with Jim McKay as host. That's right. Way to go. Player three, back to you. As a teenager in the 1880s, he played the helicon in the Marion People's Band in Marion, Ohio. Here's the response we were looking for. Warren Harding. Player three, choose again. He was the only member of Washington's cabinet who went on to become president. Player one? Incorrect. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? We're talking about Thomas Jefferson. Player 3, you pick again, please. He was the second to die as the result of assassination. It's player 1. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Here's what we wanted. James Garfield. You again, player 3. Answer. The other Daily Double. Player 3, you are currently in last. Decide on your wager, player 3. The clue, he was number 13. Yep. We return to you, player 3. The Sydney Morning Herald, the Queensland Independent. It's player 1. Woo! You are correct. All right, let's get back into this. Player 1. The Shizuoka Shimbun, the Nikan Ubejiho. Let's hear it, player 1. Yeah! Correct. You again, player 1. Avanti, Il Messaggero. Okay, player 1. Woo-hoo! That's it. You get to pick again, player 1. Haaretz, Ma'ariv. Player 2. Correct. Player 2, start us. This greenish-blue gem is so popular in the Southwest that it has its own museum in Albuquerque. Player 1. Woo! Is correct. Where do we begin, player 1? Jyllands Posten, Politiken. Here's the response we were looking for. Denmark. Player 1, back to you for our next selection. Also known as chrysoberyl, when cut a certain way, this gem produces a streak of light resembling the pupil of a certain animal. Let's hear it, player 1. Yeah. Right you are. You get to pick again, player 1. Often a lemony color, this variety of quartz has a name derived from the type of fruit that a lemon is. It's player 1. Yeah. We return to you, player 1. Silent screen star Mary Pickford bequeathed the Star of Bombay, a 182-carat one of these gems, to the Smithsonian. Here's the correct response. Sapphire. Player 1. Pick again. Utah's official state gem is this stone that's often golden, but can be pink or blue. Here's what we wanted. Topaz. Select again. On sheet music, this sign identifies the second line of the staff as the G above middle C. Okay, player 1. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Here's the response we were looking for. The treble clef. We return to you, player one. The name of this section of an orchestra comes from the Latin for a beating. Let's hear it, player one. You got it. You get to pick again, player one. Let's take it over to Jimmy.
The guitarist here is playing one of these, defined as a combination of 3 or more notes.
Let's hear it, player three. Ooh, sorry. That's incorrect. Anyone else want to hazard a guess on this? Okay, player two. Hey, you're right. Where do we begin, player two? You may have studied these Chopin pieces, whose name is French for studies. Yes, player three? Right you are. And now the $2,000 clue. Rachmaninoff wrote one on a theme of Paganini. Gershwin wrote one in blue. Here's the correct response. A rhapsody. All three of you will participate in Final Jeopardy right after this. Here comes the Final Jeopardy, players. The category is this: characters in Shakespeare. What are you going to wager? And the last clue? To the consternation of the title character, we learn that this character was born by C-section. Let's see your response. And that correct response will add. And your response? And that will cost you. Let's see your response. How much do you add to your total with that correct response? Player one, congratulations to you. So long.